Marvin.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm fine too, thanks. So, yes, let us welcome you in our Epro 360 community.
Thank you.
Yes, maybe at first you tell us a bit about you. Who are you and what are you doing at the moment?
Yeah, as you mentioned, I'm Marvin. I'm 21 years old, and currently I'm working at Dresden Sommer, which is a project management company in the real estate management branch. And yeah, I think 1 month ago I finished my bachelor degree in real estate management. And yeah, hopefully I will study in around about 3 months in the US user experience design.
Super cool and congrats.
Thank you.
Yes, where did the original idea of studying in the US come from?
I think the real origin came from an exchange program where I was able to go to the US, and I got in contact with a host family, and there I got this first impression of the US. So I recognized that everybody was so friendly and kind to me, and this was where the US come into my mind and stayed in my mind. And I think the real idea to study in US came, I think, 6 or 7 months ago. I was writing my thesis, and I was wondering what I could do after my bachelor degree. And I always wanted to be self-employed, and I could not really imagine how I can be self-employed in this branch, in this real estate branch. And so I found out that I want to get in touch with the other branch where I could be more creative and which maybe is not that conservative. And yeah, I started researching and thinking about what I could do. And then I had the idea when I do a new, so when I get in touch with a new branch, why shouldn't I go the next step and just try to study in the US?
Yeah, sounds good. And what are the top two reasons you want to go to the USA?
First of all, I think my personal idea about this is that I love to gain new experience, and I love to get into new situations. So sometimes I just want to challenge myself a bit because you have the other language and you have new country, a lot of other new persons. So I think this is a point. And the second point is more objective, I think. So it's the study system. I like the idea that you have smaller classes so that you maybe get in closer contact with the professors. And yeah, I know it from the German bachelor degree, where you sometimes just have to learn all the stuff from the script, and then at the end of the semester, you just have to put out all of your informations that you got through the semester. And yeah, I think that the US system gives you the opportunity to gain more information, and that these information stay more in your mind. So you get more out of it.
Yeah, that you keep it more.
Right.
Yeah. And how did you get to know Epro 360?
I think the totally classic way, just by research. So I did this decision to study in the US, and then I started researching. First of all, I started researching for universities, and then I recognized that there are plenty of it, and that they could be more expensive than just studying in Germany. But while I researched, I found out that in the US it's more often that you get a scholarship. And so I started researching on scholarships. And when I researched for scholarships, I found Epro. And yeah, that's the way I get in contact with Epro.
Yeah. pretty easy, but helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, what do you see as ePro sales proposition?
Um, I would say the whole product, because I think I researched on similar companies, but I didn't find any of them, because Epro has is so unique, I have to say, in the product they offer, and so I think the process that you get carried through all the steps you have to do when you want to if you want to study in the US. And so I think this is one point, and the other point is that you have at least one person you can talk to at any time. And yeah, I think this makes ePro really nice, and this is, I think, why ePro can sell themselves that good.
Great feedback for us. So yes, maybe you can tell us some more reasons why, yeah, you choose ePro 360. What convinced you?
Yeah, of course. First of all, the product, which I mentioned one point before, and secondly, I would say it seemed pretty professional. So it looked like they really understand what they're offering and that they focus on this product. And I think also that you can't really lose anything, because if it won't work, you get a refund. So there's nothing to lose. And it seemed to work pretty good, because there are a lot of feedback, such as we do right now, from other students. So I think this convinced me pretty well.
Yeah, nice. And what do you find innovative about ePro?
I think, first of all, this face-to-face interaction with ePro. So you don't have to, or you do not only contact the whole company, you always have a face behind this, and you know who are you speaking to, and yeah, you have this one person you can really relate to. And I think moreover, or which is also pretty innovative, is or are the tools which are used by ePro. To mention one, Basecamp, for example. I never found a company which is so interactive with their customers, and Basecamp is a pretty nice tool to share documents, to communicate, and even to I like these checklists where you can see what are the next steps, what have you done, and it gives you a nice overview.
Yeah, for sure. And what was the greatest added value we or ePro 360 could provide you with, and what did we help you with the most?
I would say, first of all, in relation to the US, so it gave me the opportunity to study in US. So I think it helped me for sure the most to find my university, because as I mentioned, there are a lot of universities, and it's pretty hard to find your university which even fits into your budget. And Epro helped me a lot to calculate these costs, and showed me what could cost how much. And second point, I would say, are the information. So Epro just gave me a lot of information just by chatting or in videos. And so I understand the system in the US. And I think this is a pretty big point. The second point is more private, I would say, because when you a member of ePro, then you have the access to this community, and this community gives me the ability to contact, for example, Jonas. And for example, in my private time, I try to build a startup. I want to be a founder, and yeah, this community give me this opportunity to get feedback to my startup and even rise or gain information in my private time. So I think that's a pretty unique point.
Yeah, I think so too. Because normally you have to pay someone who give you feedback or something like that.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, how has Epro 360 changed your life?
It gave me the opportunity to study in the US. Of course, I had this opportunity before, but now it's more. It's
real?
more. Yeah, it's more real.
Yeah.
It's just more real, and I recognize that my daily doings just changed a bit because I've done these tests which you have to do when you would like to study in the US, and I recognize that I start thinking more in English and I get more confident with English, and I really prepare myself to study or to live in the US. So that's, I think, a pretty big point which changes your mind a bit to leave your country and live with another language. And I think that's the biggest change in my life and my thinking.
Yeah, and pretty exciting.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Marvin. How does it feel to be an Epro 360 client?
As I mentioned a bit, it doesn't feel really like a client. So I feel like I'm not just a client because everybody is so interested in your person and what you prefer and what's important to you. And as I mentioned that you even can contact Epro with private things. So normally, as you mentioned, you have to pay to get feedback, or you can't get more offers than you paid for, and when you're a client of Epro, you just get it. So it feels pretty. I feel free to get in contact with Epro and to just say everything I want to, and I think that's a unique point, and I think that's the thing that makes it pretty nice to be a client of Epro. Yeah.
Or to be part of the Epro 360 community.
Yeah, right. This community point is a pretty big thing, and so I think that's it. Yeah, it's not like just being a client.
Yeah, it feels more.
Yeah.
Cool. Then thanks for this nice interview, and have a nice day.
Of course. Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.